What is meant by joint venture or partnering? According to Investopedia.com, a joint venture is a business arrangement in which two or more parties agree to pool their resources for the purpose of accomplishing a specific task. And under the context of strategic management, joint venture is a popular strategy that occurs when two or more companies form a temporary partnership or consortium for the purpose of capitalizing on some opportunity. Joint ventures and cooperative arrangements are being used increasingly these days because they allow companies to improve communications and networking, to globalize operations, and to minimize risk. In addition, joint ventures and partnerships are often used to pursue an opportunity that is too complex, uneconomical, or risky for a single firm to pursue alone. Just like what we have learned last time from our CIS course, you either accept, avoid, reduce, or share the risk. That is, share the risk with someone. Just like what the popular quote states, two is better than one. And last but not the least, a major reason why firms are using partnering as a means to achieve strategies is globalization. So for our example, we have Universal Robina Corporation and Vitasoy Group of Hong Kong. Universal Robina have entered a joint venture with Vitasoy Group of Hong Kong last 2017 to unlock the market potential of plant-based beverages in the Philippines. So the purpose of the joint venture is to explore the potential of plant-based sustainable beverages in the Philippines. So you might be wondering if this joint venture means for achieving strategies. Among the 16 strategies that just discussed, what do you think is the strategy Vitasoy had set when it entered the joint venture with Robina? So to answer that question, I think the most possible answer is the market development strategy. And possibly the long-term objective here of Vitasoy is to globalize operations starting from Asian neighboring countries such as the Philippines. So in our example, we could say that joint venture between Robina and Vitasoy was a successful one. However, not all joint ventures are successful. So you might ask, what could be the reasons why some joint ventures fail or aren't as successful as the others? First, it could be that managers who must collaborate daily in operating the venture are not involved in forming or shaping the venture. We have learned last time the pitfalls in strategic planning, and a few of these pitfalls include failing to involve key employees in all phases of planning, top managers not actively supporting the strategic planning process, and lastly, viewing planning as unnecessary or unimportant. So in conclusion, in order for the joint venture to be successful, it is crucial to always make key employees to be actively involved all throughout, especially in the planning process. It's important to note as well that planning is always an essential part of any business activity. Because if you don't plan, you are planning to fail. Next, the venture may benefit the partnering companies but may not benefit customers who then complain about poorer service or criticize the companies in other ways. Third reason could be that the venture may not be supported equally by both partners, and if not supported unequally, problems arise. Fourth reason, the venture may begin to compete more with one of the partners than the other. From what we just discussed, joint venture as a means of achieving strategies could open a lot of opportunities among companies. However, sometimes entering to joint ventures also lead to failure. Now, the question is, when can we say joint ventures are especially effective means to pursue strategies? So these are the 6 guidelines for when a joint venture may be an especially effective means to achieve strategy. Joint venture may be especially effective when a privately owned organization is forming a joint venture with a publicly owned organization. Second, when a domestic organization is forming a joint venture with a foreign company, just like our example earlier, Robina is a local company, whilst Vitasoy is a foreign company. Third, when the distinct competencies of two or more firms complement each other especially well. Fourth, when some projects is potentially very profitable but requires overwhelming resources and risk. From our Robina Vitasoy example, the purpose of joint venture is to explore the potential of plant-based sustainable beverages in the Philippines. Vitasoy was the new entrant during that time, and the said joint venture have given Vitasoy the opportunity to enter the Philippine market. Fifth, when two or more smaller firms have trouble competing with a large firm. And sixth, when there exists a need to quickly introduce a new technology. So another means to achieve strategies is through merger or acquisition. A merger occurs when two organizations of about equal size unite to form one enterprise. An acquisition occurs when a large organization purchases or acquires a smaller firm or vice versa. To be specific, in accounting parlance, merger occurs when two or more companies merge into a single entity which shall be one of the combining companies, while consolidation occurs when two or more companies consolidates into a single entity which shall be the consolidated company. According to data provided by the Institute for Mergers, Acquisitions, and Alliances, in 2018, the value of global M&A deals amounted to 3.9 trillion US dollars. So we have learned from our advanced accounting course the various defense tactics used by companies to avoid hostile takeovers. So example of defense tactics are poison pill, leverage buyout, white knight, or white square. Poison pill, also called shareholders' rights plan, is a type of defense tactic used by a corporation's board of directors against a takeover to make its shares unfavorable to the acquiring firm. Such plans allow the existing shareholders the right to purchase additional shares at a discount, thereby effectively diluting the ownership interest of any new hostile party. This forced the bidders or the acquirer to talk directly to the board. The second one is the leverage buyout. This refers to the use of cash to acquire outstanding shares and that such cash came from borrowed funds and hence the term leverage. Next is the white knight or white square. White knight is a term that refers to a firm that agrees to acquire another firm when that other firm is facing a hostile takeover by some company. So example for White Knight, in the year 1984, Walt Disney Productions faced a hostile bid from Saul Steinberg. Sid Bass and his sons acted as White Knights and saved Walt Disney by buying significant portions of the same company. So key reasons why many mergers and acquisitions fail. Integration difficulties, inadequate evaluation of target, large or extraordinary debt, inability to achieve synergy, too much diversification, managers overly focus on acquisitions, too large an acquisition, difficult to integrate different organizational cultures, reduced employee morale due to layoffs and relocation. Potential benefits of merging with or acquiring another firm. To provide improved capacity utilization, to make better use of the existing sales force, to reduce managerial staff, to gain economies of scale, to smooth out seasonal trends in sales, to gain access to new suppliers, distributors, customers, products, and creditors, to gain new technology, to reduce tax obligation. So another means for achieving strategies is first mover advantages. First mover advantages refer to the benefits a firm may achieve by entering a new market or developing a new product or service prior to rival firms. Slow mover, also called fast follower or late mover. Benefits of a firm being the first mover. First, secure access and commitments to rare resources, gain new knowledge of critical success factors and issues, gain market share and position in the best locations, establish and secure long-term relationships with customers, suppliers, distributors, and investors, and fifth, gain customer loyalty and commitments. For example, Amazon's. One of the most outstanding first movers businesses with a first mover advantage include innovators such as the Amazon. Amazon created the first online bookstore which was immensely successful, and by that time other retailers established an online bookstores as well, but Amazon had already achieved significant brand recognition and parlayed its first mover advantage into marketing a range of additional unrelated products. So according to Forbes, the world's most innovative companies 2018 ranking, Amazon ranked 5th with an annual growth rate of 30.8% and annual sales of 193.2 billion US dollars. Lastly, outsourcing. Outsourcing is a rapidly growing new business that involves companies taking over the functional operations such as human resources, information systems, payroll, accounting, customer service, and even marketing of other firms. Why companies are choosing to outsource their functional operations? First, it is because it is less expensive, it allows the firm to focus on its core businesses, it enables the firm to provide better services. For example, company who outsourced. First is Google. Believe it or not, the tech revolutionary had humble beginnings in outsourcing. Once they decided to grow their AdWords division to 1,000 reps by hiring remote email and phone support, they exponentially grew the business segment's ROI, which helped get them to where they are today. On the other hand, Alibaba.com, the founder, Jack Ma, outsourced the website development to a US firm. At the time, development talent in China was in short supply, while developers in US had the skills Alibaba was looking for and needed. That's just one reason. The other being reason is the workarounds and viable ways to grow his company, overcoming all Chinese internet restrictions. Currently, the company still relies on outsourcing partners for production, but they are mainly located in China. Here is an example of a BPO company, TaskUs. TaskUs employ 13,000 staff and count Uber and Facebook as their clients. TaskUs has two main branches of services that they provide, and that is customer experience and back office support. Strategic management in non-profit and governmental organizations. Strategic management is very well used too by non-profit and governmental organizations. In fact, the non-profit sector is by far the largest employer in America. Many non-profit and governmental organizations outperform private firms and corporations on innovativeness, motivation, productivity, and strategic management. First is educational institutions. Strategic educational management is a transformation of school management for improving basic education, entails a long-term change process with a core set of practices performed by school principals, teachers, students. The following are the challenges faced by universities and other institutions of higher education. First is changes in universities as institutions and at the level of internal organization. These changes should aim to improve the management of resources such as human and economic resources and be restructured to improve internal democracy. Universities must continue their mission to educate, train, and carry out research through an approach characterized by ethics, autonomy, responsibility, and anticipation. Second, changes in educational model. New teaching or learning approaches that enable the development of critical and creative thinking should be integrated. The competencies common to all higher education graduates should be determined, and the corresponding expectations should be defined. In a knowledge society, higher education should transform us from disoriented projectiles into guided missiles. Rockets capable of changing direction in flight, adapting to variable circumstances, and constantly course correcting. The idea is to teach people to learn quickly as they go along, with the capacity to change their mind and even renounce previous decisions if necessary, without overthinking or having regrets. Teaching and learning must be more active, connected to real life, and designated to students and their unique qualities in mind. Third is changes for social responsibility and knowledge transfer. The work of higher education institutions must be relevant. What they do and what is expected of them must be seen as a service to society. Their research must anticipate social needs, and the products of their research must be shared effectively with society through appropriate knowledge transfer mechanisms. Next is the strategic management in medical organizations. U.S. hospital industry is experiencing declining margins, excess capacity, bureaucratic overburdening, poorly planned and executed diversification strategies, soaring healthcare costs, reduced federal support, and high administrator turnover. Medical organizations, current strategies being pursued by many hospitals include creating home health services, establishing nursing homes, and forming rehabilitation centers. So the new trend in the medical industry is the number of persons using the internet to obtain medical information is skyrocketing. And finally, governmental agencies and departments. Federal, state, country, and municipal agencies and departments such as police departments, chambers of commerce, forestry associations, and health departments are responsible for formulating, implementing, and evaluating strategies that use taxpayers' money or peso in the most cost-effective way to provide services and programs. And one of the example of that is the national budget process being conducted yearly while using the bottom-up budgeting. Lastly is the strategic management in small firms. The strategic management process is just as vital for small companies. The strategic management process can significantly enhance small firms' growth and prosperity. Third, a lack of strategic management knowledge is a serious obstacle for many small business owners, and small firms that engage in strategic management outperform those that do not.